The observation deck of the Galactic Peacekeeping Academy fell silent as Instructor Vexthor pulled up the holographic display. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a nervous habit the Zentari species couldn't suppress when discussing uncomfortable truths. Class, today we examine specimen 7743H. Vexthor's translator rendered his chittering into Standard Galactic, also known as Leo Reeves, human, male, 24 standard cycles. Elsa Winters leaned forward in her seat, her blonde hair catching the blue light of the hologram. She was the only human in the advanced xenopsychology program, and lately, that distinction felt more like a target than an honor. The hologram shifted, showing a young man in a sterile containment cell. He sat cross-legged on the floor, eyes closed, seemingly at peace despite the massive energy barriers surrounding him. This creature, Vexthor continued, his mandibles clicking with distaste, has killed 47 trained peacekeepers. 17 were Korthian battlemasters. 9 were Zentari tactical specialists. The rest represented the finest warriors of 6 other species. A ripple of fear passed through the classroom. Elsa felt the eyes of her classmates turn toward her. She kept her expression neutral, though her heart raced. The human was discovered on a mining colony in the Outer Reach, Vexthor explained. He was alone, living in an abandoned facility. When peacekeepers attempted to relocate him to a proper settlement, he resisted. The hologram played footage. Elsa watched as armored figures approached Leo's shelter. She saw him emerge, hands raised, the universal gesture of surrender. But something went wrong. One of the peacekeepers raised a weapon. Leo moved. What happened next was almost too fast to follow. Leo disarmed the first peacekeeper, used the weapon to disable 3 others, then vanished into the facility's shadows. The footage jumped to different angles, showing brief glimpses of combat. Leo moved like water, like wind, like nothing Elsa had ever seen in training simulations. He killed them all, Vexthor said quietly, and when the second team arrived, he killed them too. And the third. Each time they escalated force. Each time he adapted. Instructor, Elsa raised her hand. What were the rules of engagement? Vexthor's eyes focused on her. Standard protocol. Contain and relocate. But why did the first peacekeeper raise his weapon? The human was deemed a potential threat. Based on what evidence? The classroom erupted in whispers. No one questioned Instructor Vexthor. He was a decorated veteran, a hero of the expansion wars. Cadet Winters, Vexthor's voice carried a warning. Are you defending this beast? Elsa stood, her chair scraping against the floor. I'm asking if they gave him a choice before labeling him a threat. Humans are new to the galactic community. We don't always understand your protocols. Did anyone explain why he needed to leave his home? It was an abandoned facility. It was his home, Elsa interrupted. And when someone points a weapon at a human who's trying to surrender, we call that a threat. We defend ourselves. Vexthor's mandibles clacked together sharply. He killed 47 trained soldiers. Did they deserve it? Elsa asked, her voice steady despite the shocked gasps around her. The question hung in the air like a grenade. Vexthor's translator stuttered, struggling with the concept. Deserve? He finally managed. They were following orders! So was Leo, Elsa said softly. The first order any human learns: survive. You sent soldiers to take him from his home by force. You escalated with each team. Did you ever try talking to him? Did you ever ask him why he was alone? Did you ever consider that maybe he had a reason? She pulled up her own data tablet, fingers flying across the surface. I did some research, Instructor. That mining colony, it was attacked by raiders 7 months ago. Everyone evacuated except the miners who were underground. The rescue ships never came back. Leo Reeves was a maintenance engineer. He was trapped in that facility when the attacks happened. He survived alone for 7 months, fighting off scavengers and raiders, waiting for a rescue that never came. Elsa's voice grew stronger, and when help finally arrived, they didn't ask questions. They didn't offer assistance. They saw a human living alone and assumed he was dangerous. They drew weapons first. And when he defended himself, you sent more weapons. Bigger weapons. You never once tried to communicate. You just kept attacking. The hologram still showed Leo in his cell, motionless and calm. That man, Elsa pointed at the image, survived 7 months of hell. He fought off actual criminals and killers. And when your peacekeepers came, they treated him exactly the same way. So I'll ask again, Instructor. Did they deserve it? Vexthor was silent for a long moment. His multiple eyes blinked in different patterns, a sign of deep thought among his species. What would you suggest, Cadet Winters? Let me talk to him. The classroom erupted in protests, but Elsa ignored them. She kept her eyes locked on Vexthor. If he's the monster you claim, she continued, then talking won't help, and you lose nothing. But if he's what I think he is, a scared, traumatized survivor who's been attacked by the very people who should have helped him, then maybe a conversation can do what 47 soldiers couldn't. Vexthor's mandibles clicked rapidly, his species equivalent of a thoughtful hum. Finally, he gestured to the door. Come with me, Cadet. As they walked through the facility's corridors toward the containment level, Vexthor spoke quietly. You may be right. We have protocols, procedures, but perhaps we've forgotten the most basic one. Understanding. They stopped outside Leo's cell. Through the energy barrier, Elsa could see him more clearly now. He looked tired, haunted but not broken. 5 minutes, Vexthor said, lowering the barrier. Elsa stepped through. Leo's eyes opened, meeting hers. She saw recognition there, not of her specifically, but of what she was. Another human, maybe the first he'd seen in 7 months. Hi, Elsa said simply. My name is Elsa, and I think you've had a really bad week. For the first time since his capture, Leo Reeves smiled. It was a small broken thing, but it was human. You have no idea, he said, his voice rough from disuse. And they began to talk.